You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Sunday, July 10th, 2022. How the hell are you? Everything's going all right. Hope you guys are doing great, having a nice weekend. I hope it's almost over, but don't worry. We're going to make it go by even slower with the boring show. Shh. Very boring tonight. I don't want any jokes. I don't want any excitement. I don't want any videos to get you going. You know what I mean? I just want to sit here and do what you expect. Nothing. Roll call. Hold that thought. Roll call, everybody. Corlin, welcome to the show. Den Bub, welcome to the show. Rebecca Wiles, welcome to the show. Josh and Artemis show, welcome to the show. Tic Tac Toe, welcome to the show. Bill Nice, always nice. Welcome to the show. My volume is not low. I was talking low. Because now I'm going to go to my fucking show and see how low it is. Always something. Sounds good to me. Always something. Sounds good to me. I know, I get 2 messages, 3 now. Your volume's too low. My volume is not low. I'm not talking to my personal assistant. It had nothing to do with you. Promise you that. Because nobody knows. Yeah. It's just people playing games. That's what they do. Your volume's too low. Your screen is too small. Your eyes are too red. Your shirt is the same one you wore 6 weeks ago. Jimmy Mac's here. Zach, your mother's got 19 leg locks. Hey, Jimmy Mac, how you doing, huh? Welcome to the show. Tic Tac Toe, welcome to the show. Zach Diecast Montu, welcome to the show. Tim Freestone,
Welcome to the show.
Moody Mongo, welcome to the show. Tila Likens. Tila Likens Jr.? No. Rebecca Wiles. Did I say it already? I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, I'll say it again. Welcome to the show. Sean Cleveland Music, welcome to this show. W Wicked World. This is how I'm going to say your name from now on. Wicked World. Hey, mamacita, huh? Who's this girl? Who's this woman? Who's this lady? Who's this chick? Who's this broad? Where's the right word to use? Who's this, Dorothy? Welcome back. How you doing? We all missed you. It feels like it's been a year. Good to see you, and welcome to this show. Wally's Corner, welcome to this show. Shadi Panorin, welcome to the show. Mike Johnson, welcome to the show. Hey, Wally's Corner. Somebody... Oh, Wally's Corner. It's Walt. What do you say there, Rubberneck? How you doing, huh? Yeah, it's Stu Broadwell. Welcome to the show. Shashak. How you doing, huh? Hey, I got a TAROT coming your way. Denbub, welcome to the show. Maria Jose Sproul, welcome to this show. Are we good? Can we start? I was surprised to see Dorothy. Yeah, that was a nice little surprise. David Wilcox is here. What do you say there, Chief? Welcome to the show. Dinkamazi. How you doing, D? Good to see ya. The Dink is here. The Dinkum. Dirty Dink. Gum cheap. Dirty Dink. Gum cheap. I can't think. I tried being original and it didn't work. Alfie Joe Bob. Hey, welcome to this show. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. It's a nice little roundup. We got a nice little roundup here, I meant to say. Nice to see everybody. Good to see ya. All right, so been some changes to the new channel, the Wise Guy Show. I want to change the name so bad, but I can't. If I didn't say your name, doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I got to go on with the show. You came too late. Hey, yo, I missed you. Don't worry about it. So I'm looking to make a banner. So I'm going to get the banner ready. That's the long thing on the top of the channel. But Alien Addict made me the icon pick. The round one, the little one. So check it out. I mean, this isn't really what's happening. But there it is. He made this right here. That's the guy. Let me see if I can bring it in. And if you can barely see it maybe, but it's got the red tie. It's really cool because if you ever go to Goofon just has the little red going through the black. And that's the signature icon. But this is all going to be different on the top. I'm not going to keep it like that. I've got something I'm making for that. But the new channel's coming along, and I don't like the name anymore because there's 1,000 Wise Guys shows. I think I made a mistake. I think I made a mistake. And I think YouTube only gives you 3 times to change your name. but I'm going to leave it. So what? It'll be the original Wise Guy show. Like, it'll be different from it already is. So, that's that. Anyway, that's that. Now, tonight, we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to brush up a little bit on the Broadhaven case. The one that's just like the aerial school children and the other one with the school children. Isn't it weird that in that 10-year frame from the 60s to the 70s and the mids, that these UFOs were seen by school children in other countries? It's pretty dramatic if you really think about it. Because we haven't had anything like that since. I can't think of another mass sighting, because that's a mass. And I can't think of another one other than since then. Oh, well, there was. I guess you could, well, the Gulf Breeze sightings were apparently legit. That was seen by a lot of people, but yeah, then when you get down to it, they tried making that guy, what was his name? I forget, the Walter Simmons, I don't know, something. But trying to say he faked it. And the little prop they came out with, because somebody moved into that guy's house after, he sold his house and moved out. And they found, found alien models, UFOs in the attic. It looked nothing like the Gulf Breeze pictures. The one that's going over the road. Yeah, it's that's a mass sighting, but I'm talking like a mass sighting. I'm not talking about individuals like they saw something here in Jacksonville and they saw something here at Corpus Christi and they saw something here in Gulf Breeze. I'm talking all at once, thousands of people seeing it or tens. Nonetheless, the Phoenix Lights might be one of the ultimate of all time. Then you could also say Rendlesham Forest was a mass sighting because it was seen by many, many people. And then in Brazil, when they got attacked, there's the Vietnam UFOs. This has been going on more than you think. What is going on in our skies? It is absolutely amazing. All the way up till 97. In 2005, semi-mass sighting with the Chicago O'Hare incident. 35, 50 people saw that and were hushed, especially the employees. But that was a real sighting, and that could be called a mass sighting. But I'm thinking mass. But these school kids, seeing it in the daytime, not at night, not under cloud cover, not during a rainstorm, thunderstorm, dust storm. I'm talking face-to-face with an alien of some sort. Well, Broadhaven, somebody sent this to me. I think it was Bruce, sent me a clip today, which is 50 years later. And it's, yeah, let me pull it up. I thought I, see? Bernie sent it to me. Bernie G, not Bruce. It was a B. I'm close enough. Hey, don't forget, if you want to help support the show, we are supported by your donations and your love. So every time you send something over to GoFund, whether it be PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat, Super Sticker, whatever, it all funnels down. Even the Wise Guy Show all comes here, and we keep the channels going, especially this one. The other one's like in test mode. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying all different things. And that's how we survive here 7 days a week. For now. As soon as I get hired at a job, as soon as somebody calls me, that'll take care of the 7 days. So I know. Yeah, I'm probably doing too much of me, I think, too. Yeah. We need to cut this down to 4 nights a week instead of 7. It definitely has to happen. I think too much overexposure, maybe. I don't know. There's channels that go every day. they're called Fox, MSNBC, and CBS. But anyway, that is that. It is Sunday night. We are going an hour later than I should have gone. So I appreciate you guys coming over an hour after. I mean, who knows? Sunday's usually like 7, 8, or 9 o'clock. I'll never go later or earlier than those times on Sunday. Matter of fact, I was this close to not even doing a show. So thank you for hanging out. Again, I appreciate it. I want to show you something. This is beautiful. Just to get your palate wet for the rest of the show. Because I don't have a video. I thought I did. Is there a video here on the Westfall? And the other kids? Westall 66 50 years later. No. I know about the Westall. I know, we talked about this one. 50 years later. Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, I like that Westall one. This way to Grange, Westall. But let me show you this because I want to pull something up, and this I meant to show this yesterday and I forgot. So before I forget again, it's just beauty, nature. It's just beautiful nature. That's all. I just want to show you the clouds while I find a clip real quick. So check this out. This is from What's Up With Those Green Skies in South Dakota. We had some bitchin' weather today in Florida.
Tomorrow we're taking a look at it.
I can't play that song.
Green. This is South Dakota.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's South Dakota. Those are incredibly... looks like P.
Might see a severe storm.
He's still playing the music. Anyway, this usually happens because of the angle of the sun, believe it or not, is giving off this illusion. Well, it's not an illusion, of these green skies. And also, depending on the weather, whether it be... It could be extreme rain, heavy hail, and it's the angle of the sun. They even said it, I think, in the clip. Look at this. This is amazing what just happened. How does that happen? Your mother's monkey. He says it over here. If that music is still going.
It's like a lighter green when a tornado comes through or severe weather. But that's some colors as kids and create the green, and nature's doing it for us in this case, Doc. I've seen this in smaller doses, you know, where it's like a lighter green when a tornado comes through or a severe weather. But that's some bright emeraldish green colors.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the pictures on social media over the last couple of days, Steve, and it was really, really dramatic. Yeah, it's kind of an eerie sight there.
Anyway, but that's all it is. You see that with violent, very heavy rains and stuff like that. It's just a cool green. You never see them that green. It's emerald green. He got it right. It is emerald green. Yeah, so let's get this going here. All right, the story. Yeah, now we've talked about the school kids quite often, and my God, I made a mistake tonight. I thought I had a video of Broadhaven 50 years later, but it isn't. I made a mistake. Yeah, it's Westall. I didn't see that. Yeah, but Westall was cool. I mean, for those people to have seen it, you know, it's pretty amazing. I mean, if you were barely 10 years old and saw a UFO when you were a kid, I know, I remember certain things when I was 10 that won't ever leave my memory. Even 7 years old, I think I remember as far back as 6.5. 5, I almost remember 5. I remember going to kindergarten I remember that. I remember the first day. Yeah, and I remember thinking how weird how weird the kids acted. Yeah, I was like, why are they acting this way? What are they screaming? And it's just odd being around all those kids. Anyway, but imagine seeing at 10 years old something that looked like a flying saucer, and then aliens. And then you turn around and, well, Jesus, everybody sees it. It's the end of the world. You might even think that. What the hell's going on? Is that a balloon? Is that a toy of some sort? What's going on? Yeah. And what if you were one of those bolder children that didn't listen to the teacher? Like that's what happened here. Don't go over there. The teacher was saying, get away from there. But yet these kids jumped the fence and ran towards the park where the object was. And you see a plain metallic disc craft just sitting there for some minutes. And you're like, impossible. This can't be. And then it rises vertically a little bit and you're like, whoa, I didn't even hear it move. I can't believe it. And then it turned on its side and pew! Huh? Who's going to believe that story? Not if it was just you. But 30 to 40, 50, 60 people, kids, teachers? Yeah. That's what happened. And then if you go talk to anybody, you could get punished for it. Don't talk to the media. There were some suited men, FBI maybe, you don't know, Men in Black. And they come out and they get in front of all the kids and say, there's no such thing as flying saucers. You didn't see anything unusual, and don't talk to anybody about this. You got it? Yes, sir. 10 years old, 11, 9. The teacher who took photos had her film taken. And the camera. One of the girls who first got to the scene fainted. Ambulance had to take her away minutes later. She never returned to school. And you never see her again. It's a great story. Spinning yarn is what we do here at Goof On, but I didn't make up this story. Oh no. This came right out of reality. And holy Temperature is 110 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona right now. What? No, thank you. They say this story was stranger than an X-Files story. Nowadays. It was, man. A 100 people saw this thing, I think, right? They drew 100 people at Westall High School, Melbourne, Australia. April 6, 1966. Mm-hmm. 100 witnesses. That's a mass sighting, but not the kind of mass sighting I want. I want it like the Phoenix Lights. I want it during the daytime. I want it with video from the news. Why didn't that happen just 3 hours earlier on March 13th, 1997? That's not true. Tens of thousands of people saw that Phoenix Lights. But the story kind of got put away in the West Hall, and nobody talked about it for a while until 30 years later, 40 years later, people started, like, they became adults, and they're like, Jesus, man, nobody ever talks about this. Don't people know about what happened to me when I was 10? I need to call somebody. They dismissed it because it was mostly children, right? But they all drew and told the same story. Yeah, I don't believe in mass hallucinations. Never in my whole life have I ever seen a story of a mass hallucination. I'm talking since I've been alive. My whole life, I have never heard of any situation where there was a mass sighting and people were being called, everybody was under hypnosis or it was a mass hallucination. I don't believe in mass hallucinations. I'm saying it now. I don't. And I see a $10 David Wilcox here. Yeah, see, but $10, Mr. Wilcox, again, we have to hear what I'm saying. I said in the last 50 years. No, I know. 1917, that was really the last one, right? No, I mean, the only other one before the West Hall, the other two, Brookhaven and the other one. These with the school children just fascinate me. And that one, the Miracle of the Sun in Fatima in 17, that fascinates me. Have you ever seen the pictures from that thing? We should do a little mini show on that. That sighting, David, and everybody was just weird, right? It's like the sun started pulsating, or they thought was the sun. I got to look back into that because it's been years since I even cared to look at it. But that is a good one. Yeah. But I'm talking mainly in the last 40 years, 50 years. I was talking about hallucinations. That's right. Yeah. Did they have a mass hallucination over there in Fatima? It seemed like it, right? Well, you can go back to that time. They didn't have, all this electronic shit that we have today. They didn't have holograms. They didn't even have lasers. They didn't have TV. They barely had electricity. So that is, see, that's what bothers me, man. Thanks, David. You're also the first super chatter of the day. It is with great honor that we celebrate it. Mucho gusto. Sorry. That's okay. David Wilcox with a $10 Canadian super chat. Miracle of the Sun in Fatima 1970. Grazie. Thank you very much. Hey, Bob Perkins came here. How you doing? What's this? What are we saying? Interesting. We have supposed cures at a place here called Holy Hill. Similar effects, spontaneous healings. Come on, man. Let me go over there. If I could go there right now, everything changes. That'd be cool if there was a place that could give you instant healing. We'd put Big Pharma out of business, that's for sure. COVID. But that West Hall COVID is an amazing thing. Flying saucer sighting. They even have things posted there. You can go look at. They really honored that historic event. But still, what these people are asking They're asking us to accept the impossible. Intelligent life on other planets, visiting Earth. I mean, it pretty much is the only explanation for what they claim to have seen, right? I don't know. Oh, let me show you this. Oh, I don't remember this. Hey! The Josh and Artemis Show. It's $7 Canadian coin. Goofonians and proud. We love you. Aww. No, you don't. I'm just kidding. Thank you very much, guys. That's Josh and Artemis Show. Good friends of the show. That's a big mucho gusto generoso. We'll do this one. We got to switch it up, you know. No, you hit the wrong one, you dill hole. Immature. Thank you very much. Continuing support of the show, good friends of the show, and yep. Thank you. Thank you. Let me show you this. Continuing supporters of Goof On, of course. I noted, I'm not going to say it. See, look at this. Look at this. Shh. Let me say it. Several witnesses report that the military who arrived to inspect and flatten the circles left by the craft included men in blue uniforms like any worn by the Australian Armed Forces of the day. This experimental craft gone AWOL. Huh? Explanation brings a different kind of epistemological. I know the word. Epistemological price? Dude, speak nice words. For if the Westfall craft was man-made, its shock appearance in full suburban daylight, then subsequent officials' denials would show that relevant authorities are willing to keep able... your mother's ass, I can't read. They're willing to... And they're willing and able to keep secrets from their own populations, even about the technologies many decades ahead of what they publicly avow commanding. I can't do it. I can't do this. No. Done. Everybody knows. Done. That's it. Too many mistakes on one story, you leave and then go to the next. Hey! Cash 45. That's a New Zealand $9 we round up here, not down here. That's a super dono. No picture, sticker, and no comments. Damn, I was doing good for a few days. I always say the wrong thing. But thank you very much for the super dono. And because that's a super dono, we'll do one of these. I always like this one. Thank you, Cash 45. With the New Zealand $9 super dono, it says, a gosh. Thank you very much. Continuing supporter of Goof On. Right here on Goof On. Third phase of Moon. Where have they been? Why aren't you talking about them that much, Rich, lately? You haven't really been sharing their videos or I get emails, messages. Are you guys still friends? What happened after that Angry Channel thing? You guys haven't been talking that much, at least not that I've seen. And I can't believe you haven't played one of their videos in a couple of days. And last night you played it and I was like, oh my God, are they still friends? What's going on? Yes! However, they're on road trip assignment. That's what Third Phase is doing right now. They're out on the road and they're in California for a little while longer. And then I don't know where they're going after that in the middle of the month. But if things go as planned, which I'm not sure if we're still on for August, but I may be going to Hawaii. Yep. To stay at their crib for however long, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe I'll move down there. Maybe I'll get my own place. Maybe I'll live on the streets. Why not? Carry the computer on my back. That'd be great. The drone. Anyway, they did put up like a really good video last night. It's about the Black Knight satellite cover-up with Billy Carson. He was on the show live. And I have to admit, it's a really great episode. Well, they usually are. I always love Third Phase of Moon episodes, but the Black Knight satellite seems to have a place in everybody's heart. It's the marker, the symbol for hope, that there is something watching us. Someone, somewhere, and it may be here. It may have been here longer than people. We're not sure. Now, debunkers will say it's a blanket that escaped or got lost from a shuttle mission. I have seen those photos, and I have to tell you, they're close. It looks like it. It sure does. But apparently, this thing gave a signal out. I think it was Tesla captured a signal saying it was coming from Mars at the time, but I guess what they figured out, it may be the Black Knight satellite. Not so sure. But Billy Carson goes over so many things. He has a new documentary out. And what is it? Is it called? Let me see here. I can't remember. Let's see. It is, watch now, Black Knight Satellite Beyond the Signal. Hold on, let me see something. All right, so I'm going to bring this up and show you. The link is, I'll put the links in, for Third Phase of Moon, and then you can see this. I'll put the link to Billy's place. It's Forbidden Knowledge TV. I'm just going to scroll. I've never been here till now. So, okay. Here's the movie. No, that can't be it. I guess there's a link to it. It just came out. I'm going to play this preview. Apparently, this movie's doing really well, and I wanted to watch it, and I forgot. Here we go.
Against the wind. The wind's 120 miles from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
You're dealing with all of these objects that are hanging out over your sensitive military installations, nuclear facilities,
Dolan.
And now you're seeing objects in orbit.
After I enhanced it a little bit more, I could see that there was almost two halves to this craft. This is something that is intelligently made.
Somebody is watching us. We should at least know who it is and why.
The watchers are called the messengers.
Yes.
They keep watch on us because they're thinking, well, perhaps they're not going in the right direction.
This is an actual NSA document. They are talking about communication through specific frequencies and then how we could communicate back with ET.
Houston, this is Discovery. We still have the alien spacecraft under abhorrence.
This Black Knight is somehow correlated with the Vultus constellation.
I think there's a lot more to it.
An early reptilian race brought this satellite into orbit.
These so-called satellites are to observe the planets, to listen. The universe is full of these probes.
What I think is the most important thing to understand, are we being watched? Who is watching us? And where are they from? I am Billy Carson, and this is my investigation into the Black Knight satellite.
Oh. There's more.
Black Knight, satellite. Hey.
That's Billy.
Black Knight, satellite, Black Knight.
Black Knight, satellite, Black Knight, satellite, Black Knight. Black Knight satellite. Dun 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 dun. That's true. Oh, Black Knight satellite. I didn't know that we had that song here. This is amazing. When does it come in? Oh, here it is. right, let's take a look at the interview with Billy Carson on the moon. Third phase of moon. Holy schmaholy bolies. Who's this guy? Hey, Mystic 15 with a $50. $50? God damn! Well, this looks like this is like $12.50 a line. The multi-universe, or extra overlaid spatial dimensions, could explain the UFO alien subject. Each spatial overlaid dimension is separated by their unique frequency and vibration of matter, like us. This could also explain why gravity is so weak of a force. I don't know, man. Gravity depends on the size of the object you're on. If we were on Jupiter and it was an Earth-like planet and we could be on it, I'm sure the gravity would be 60 times worse. We'd be this tall. Like, how you doing, Mac? Hey, we'd all be walking like this, you know? I don't know, man. The multiverse, now you're talking language that confuses me. A multiverse? I think the multiverse is a convenient loophole that people like to make everything apply to. Oh, UFOs? Yeah, that's from the multi-universe. Oh, Bigfoot? Multiverse. They're just jumping around. That's all it is. They don't belong here. That's why they don't stay. That's why we can't catch them. That's why they disappear. The multiverse, or extra overlaid spatial dimensions. This is a conversation I did not expect. It's a very good one, as a matter of fact. I wish I thought of it. Oh, yeah, you said it. It could explain the UFO alien subject. That's weird. Okay, perfect. I like this. Each spatial overlaid dimension is separated by their unique frequency and vibration of matter. Okay. That is a great... You know what? I believe in that. I believe that depending on what type of gravity you're in, of course you're going to have... Is it proven? But are you going to have a different vibration? Are you? Here's what I understand. Another universe. Okay, we're in a universe. And the galaxy is where all the stars are in. The universe is where everything we see is in. The galaxy is where we hang out in our spiral galaxy on the edge of an arm. A solar system is inside the galaxy, which is inside the universe. So you have a home inside of a home inside of a home. And you've got 3 different types of gravity, I'm assuming, or unlimited amounts. But now, if you take this universe and jump to another one, if everything is made up of the same exact shit that our universe is made up as, then physics should be the same. But if there's something on this planet that's a little different, maybe we don't know of this element. We only know of the known elements in our little solar system. That's it. And I know this planet, Earth, has been hit by millions of different rocks, and maybe panspermia created everything here. Who knows? To me, that makes sense. But who knows, the primordial soup that it was being, stirred up in, milking this Earth and building things. Thank you, Mystic 15. That is super mucho gusto generoso, sir. Let's give you one of these. Hey. Thank you, Mystic 15, for the $50 super chat. Great discussion and hecklish. All over the conversation I was having. Mucho gusto generoso. Under 17. Not permitted without parent. It's true. If there's just one different element added to Earth that isn't from Earth, it could change everything. We live in such a beautiful place. I don't think you guys understand. Most of you do. Do you? Do you really understand? Do you just sit there and think of how precious we are, how precious everything is, how the butterfly effect could really work, that it's possible you could change reality, your reality? The energies, the vibrations that make up everything, that's real. I know it is. I know it. I mean, they've proven it. There's no doubt about it. Everything's vibrating. I get it. Everything. But if you did get to a Jupiter-sized planet, the gravity would be significantly higher because if it's got the mass it should be super intense compared to Earth. Then you look at the moon, which is super tiny compared, it's only size of the United States really across, right? 3,000 miles, which is extraordinarily huge. Doesn't have a lot of gravity. What is it, 1/6 of the Earth? All right, let's watch Billy Meyer talk about his new movie with Blake, Third Phase of Moon, and this is really spectacular. I enjoyed this a lot, so come with me. Hey, I thought that was on their screen. As soon as I hit the button, it popped up. I'm like, wait, it's not over here. Moonlicht with $3.33 says, Richie, this is my wig money. Take it all. I am going to. As a matter of fact, thank you, Moonlicht. Got it. Mucho gusto, generoso. That's continuing support from Moonlicht, a good friend of the show too. Thank you. That was very strange. As soon as I switched, it popped up. I thought it was their channel. I'm like, hey, it's not. All right, go.
That's what we're going to find out tonight. And
oh, come on. Oh, look at this. They almost
got
us.
For Billy, be sure to bring him in the chat room tonight. So let's just bring in Billy Carson. Appreciate you joining us today, Billy.
Hey, thank you, sir. It's been great to be on here. This is amazing.
I know after all these years, you participated in our Above Top Secret documentary, and finally,
Anybody notice something? They're both wearing the same colored shirt. Close.
You're on Third Phase of Moon, and we're talking face to face. So I dig it.
Yeah.
You know, you've been traveling across the world. You just got back from the UK, and you're on fire right now. Your social media is blowing up, and is this movie, The Black Knight Satellite, Beyond the Signal. You're opening up eyes in regards to this. We've been following the Black Knight Satellite for quite some time, many years. The NASA photos and some objects even here on Earth that look like the Black Knight Satellite. But let's just start it off.
Yeah.
What got you into the Black Knight Satellite? Do you believe this is a satellite that's been roaming around our planet for 13,000 years?
Yeah, well, about maybe I would say close to 12 years ago, 11 and a half, 12 years ago, max, I came across the information about the Black Knight Satellite. And it was just some casual information on a forum online. And I was like, wow, I wonder if this could be real. Then I came across some more. And I said, this is pretty interesting. I need to look into this, you know? So I started studying and researching it. And then I started seeing some links between the Black Knight Satellite, or potentially what could be a satellite orbiting Earth, and something from ancient Sumerian text, which was also known as the all-seeing eye. And I feel that I had enough conclusive data to make a connection between the all-seeing eye of Enlil, the Anunnaki, from the Sumerian cuneiform tablets, the Babylonian god Enlil, and this all-seeing eye, where this object is orbiting in a polar orbit, which would allow him to have the ability to see around the entire planet at any given time.
So it's interesting as you delve into this documentary, and I just got done watching it. There's a few people that got involved, and you spoke to one of the people. I forgot his name, but you're asking him about these so-called debunkers that want to dismiss the Black Knight as just a simple blanket that was accidentally jettisoned from, I think, the shuttle.
Yeah.
So he went into detail explaining exactly why it isn't. And is there a reason why they want to keep this a secret from the people? NASA put the photograph out, and we can trace it back to the source of NASA. Well, why are they kind of discrediting it, but then they put it out and their explanation is kind of money?
Hey, Mystic 15, doesn't look like you're blocked. I'll check it out right now. I'll make sure. Shouldn't be, unless you said something, I don't know. But here you are.
Mundane.
Right. Well, a couple of reasons. The first reason, you have to put it out because this object is orbiting somewhere around the Lagrange 5 point, which is around the same distance of the moon, about 250 million miles out, which means it's going to be very easy to see depending on the way that the sun's going to come in and reflect off of it, and also the way that we have technology now for our pseudo, or not pseudo, but our quasi astronomers now. Everybody's got a nice telescope. I have one. And so eventually enough people are going to be looking at this thing and seeing. Plus other agencies, space agencies are launching into space, and even college students now can launch CubeSats into space. So the fact that this thing actually exists is going to be well known. So they're covering your tracks saying, hey, we've already put it in our database years ago. We labeled it space junk, right? And so it definitely is not a blanket. It's something that has mass. And there was an estimate that came back one time in the past from NASA that they estimated about 15 tons. But the time that they made that estimate, neither us or Russia could launch 15 tons into space. So what is this thing?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're trying to find out. Black Jack is saying, do you think we've done some rendezvous, possibly? Space Force have gotten a close-up look at the Black Knight satellite. Has that crossed any of the theories out there?
I believe it's one of the main reasons for the Space Force. Something that's orbiting Earth, and there's been actually now documented more than one object, but I just couldn't find enough data on the second object, even though two objects have been labeled in many newspapers and also one in Time magazine. And so what I said was, wow, this is pretty interesting. What if the Space Force has come together because they realize there is an object, potentially alien, orbiting our planet, potentially sending information back, reconnaissance data on us as to where we are, what we're doing as a species on this planet. We need to be able to analyze this and invest a lot of money into figuring out what it is without disrupting it. I think they hide this because if you don't know what this is, and it is that ancient, it has the ability to do what it's doing. It was in a polar orbit before we can put things in polar orbits. That means it might have a self-defense system. That means it might be communicating via quantum entanglement, which means no matter where it's sending its information to, it's going instantly. So if you try to blow it up, it can still get the message out before it explodes. And you don't know if they're going to call the cavalry in or what's going to really happen. An object like that also orbiting so close to our Earth atmosphere. I mean, the easiest way to take out a human population is not to come with guns a-blazing. You just release a toxin into the atmosphere and just wait for everybody to pass out, and then you clean up later. So because of that, I think they keep it quiet. They don't want anybody to know that potentially this could be an alien object that we have no control over.
Absolutely. And I think that's why this cat and mouse game is going on, especially even in the recent hearings in Congress. Man.
So he said a lot of stuff here, a lot of good things, saying that at the time they saw this up in space, there were no capabilities to launch 15 tons into space at that time. Interesting. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, man. I'm going to go forward a little bit to this, and then I'll let you guys have to watch the rest of it. But I saw a super chat, and it looked like it was a couple of bucks. Let me pull it up. No, there was one after that. I think I took it off because the video was up. Let me see if you got that available. It must have been before this one. Where did that one go that I just removed, Coral? That's weird. I don't see it. I don't see it. The one that you just posted up and then I removed, and I was gonna. All right, hold on. Johnny D. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh my God. I thought Coral posted it. It was from Third Phase of Moon. That is crazy. Oh no, I can't believe that, Coral. I'm so sorry. I was like, Coral, please don't post super chats during the video. And I thought it was hers. It was Third Phase of Moon. I'm so sorry. And I was watching it too. I just thought it was from here. Look what happened. You can see it. Look, watch. See, that popped up and I'm watching it and I'm like, let's not post video super chats during videos. And it wasn't. Sorry, Coral. See, this is why I shouldn't be here. I'm so mean. I'm so accusatory. If that's even the right way to use that word. Ricardo Jimenez, it's not Tuesday. Holy shnikey. He says, thank you for this, by the way. My first UFO experience was the fall of '06. We saw a big sighting in Gila Bend, Arizona. Hey, my neck of the woods. Heading west to Yuma. 2 big orange orbs, size of a car, appeared 100 yards from the highway. Mind-blowing. Oh my God, I can't believe this. You just reminded me of something. This is purely amazing. This is amazing. I never talked about this, but that is incredible, and I'm going to make you feel a little bit like you weren't just seeing stuff. I used to go to Yuma. I had a girlfriend who lived out there, 3 hours away, 3 hours and 15 minutes to be exact. And she lived right by the Mexico border, so we would go, shopping and, get stuff across the border and then come back home and enjoy. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that. Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't. What is it? I don't know. Could have been. But anyway, when I used to go down there every weekend, I noticed, and if Ricardo, the I-10, it goes all the way through, and I'm taking the 10, and I see a bright white light, maybe about a third of the size of the moon. It was in the northwest corner of the sky. Not a star. It was one. It was low. It was about 20 degrees above the horizon. And I thought, oh, it must be an airplane or whatever. Go down next weekend, and there it is again. And I see it, and I go, why is it? It's 11 a.m., and that object was there last week, but I wonder if it's a tower. Now, I just got into UFOs at the time. It was, holy shit. No, it was before. Yeah, it was before. How could I say that? It was before, because it was before I met my wife. Yeah, that's right. It was 2001, right before I met my wife. Right, because I didn't have my sister's camera, which I had a year later when I moved in with my wife. Yeah, that's so bizarre. I got that mixed up. This was right before I met my wife. Oh my God, this is really interesting. Yeah, because it was my girlfriend at the time. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Right. So I talked to my girlfriend. I got there and I go, do you guys have any UFO sightings in this area? And she's like, all the time. So I kept telling her what I saw when I would drive down there now 3 weeks in a row. So we were talking, we did our thing, and she goes, how about, do you have a friend? My girlfriend wants to hang out with us and da-da-da-da-da. So a friend of mine that I was working with, his name was Carlos, and I said, hey, do you want to meet this girl? Come with me to Yuma. He goes, Yuma? And I go, bro, it's so worth it. I don't know. I think he wound up having a kid with her. I'm not sure but they wound up staying together for a very long time. Don't know if they still are. But I was telling him about the UFO, the light that I kept seeing. Now, the reason I say this is interesting, because I wasn't even into UFOs. This is a year before. Now it just hit me that I was seeing shit on a regular basis going to Yuma. So I brought binoculars with us. And I told him about this, and we're driving out there, and it was almost noon, and I go, this is where I usually see the light. And I go, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, pointing, and I go, oh my God, that's it. He goes, pull over. So I pulled over, and 65 miles an hour, people are whizzing by us on the freeway. And I take out the binoculars and look, and it's not moving. I even rested on the car and didn't move the binoculars, and this light stayed there. And I couldn't see anything underneath it. It was so high above the mountains. It couldn't have been something attached to anything. It wasn't waving. But here we are again, 4 weeks in a row, and I'm seeing this light. And I go, here, take a look. So he looks at it, and he goes, nah, that's a plane. And I go, it hasn't moved. And he goes, it's got to be a plane. I go, it's not a plane. And he goes, huh? And I go, what? And he goes, nothing. It looked like, he said, it looked like it changed colors for a second. I never saw that happen, but he said he saw it change colors. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, it was just a quick flash. Like it went to he said it looked like the rainbows flew by real quick in the light, like all different colors. And he said it was like that. I said, okay, that's it. It's really interesting. And I'm like, I didn't believe him. I thought he was just making it up. So, we had another 30 minutes to go. And he's not saying anything. And I go, what's wrong? And he goes, let's just go home, man. This is a mistake. And I'm like, why? And I go, no way. I go, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be here till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And he's like, can we just go home then? I go, no. I go, we can't. I'm sorry. I go, why would you want to do that? We are 30 minutes away. And he goes, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know, blind dates and shit. What if I don't like her? I'm like, what if she doesn't like you? So I got his mind into thinking, let's go. And I'm like, this is so bad. He's going to ruin this night. It's going to make me look bad. And I can't cancel because, I want to have some fun. So we all hung out. He had a great time. We talked about the light and all that. So on the way home, he's like, do you feel that? And I'm like, what? He goes, I just feel like I'm shaking all over. And I reach out jokingly to touch him. And I'm like, and he jumps like this. I'm like, what are you jumping for? And he's like, dude, you freaked me out. And I'm like, what? He goes, I don't know. You touching me, reaching over. And I go, you said you were feeling like you were vibrating. I don't feel it. And he's like, bro, he goes, that was really weird. And I'm like, oh, what? So I reached down and touched. He goes, no. He goes, the UFO, dude. And I go, what about it? And I'm like, I thought, we were over this already. And he's like, bro, I don't know, man. He's like, but that was really weird. He says, when I was looking at it through the binoculars and I saw those lights go by, he says, I got scared. And I go, what do you mean? He's like, I felt like they didn't want me looking at it. And I said, that is weird. But from that point on, he and I rarely talked anymore. But he did go and meet this girl. She wound up eventually moving to Phoenix, and they lived together. But he and I, we were managers at a call center, and he and I barely talked after that. He was changed. I saw it. I mean, they had a meeting with him about how he's not as motivating as he used to be. Because, I'm just chill. And they're like, yeah, you got to motivate your team, man. He's like, oh, they're motivated. They get it. But he was just different after that. So I wound up quitting 3 months down the road, got a better job. And I didn't see him for about 5 years. And I ran into him I was picking up a bag downtown, and he just happened to be walking on the street. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, holy shit, I can't believe it. And I'm like, I know. I go, what are the odds we're going to see? And he's like, okay, see you later. And that was the last I ever seen of him. I tried reaching out to him. He got weirded out. did something happen to him? Now, here's the weird thing. I met my wife in September that year, right after 9/11. It was like a day or two after. Seriously, it was like a day or two after. And because I was having a semi-long distance relationship, which really was declining over the months, and I got tired of driving out there, and and it was just it was weird anyway. It got weird from that day on. I don't know why. I don't know what Carlos said to the girl that may have told my girlfriend, but he was not the same guy. Anyway, I made this a longer story than I thought, but I never told it before. The weird thing is, with the last time I drove out to see my girlfriend, I didn't see the light. And that was, now I've seen it probably 8 or 9 times. I never took a picture of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have my face up. Sorry about that. At least you could hear me. Hey, that's like old-fashioned radio. But I'll get to the super chats in a second. I see them. It makes me wonder if that was kind of like an introduction for me. In 2003. No, wait, that was 2001. Why I keep saying 2003? Why do I keep saying that? It was 2001. I saw the UFOs. I must be getting the timelines wrong, because when I met my wife, it was right after 9/11. Well, I'm not lying, so I just can't remember. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but it was right before I met my wife that year. Yep. And then I met my wife, and then got my dog in 2004, and we saw the UFOs together. And the weird thing is, going out to see the first girl, the girl that I would see these lights, the last time I went out there, I didn't even see her, see the lights. So I'm looking all around, driving out there, and I don't see it. On the way home that night, it was like 9 o'clock, I'm looking for it, 30 minutes out from our house. I'm looking for this light. I don't see it. And for some reason, I just look up, and there's a bright light above me on the freeway. And I'm like, what is that? I mean, it was really bright. It didn't look like it could be, it looked like it might have been an airplane, but I pulled over, and the light was right above me. It didn't move. I had the binoculars with me, and when I was looking up at it, it just dimmed off. I don't know if it was an iridium flare satellite, but it wasn't moving. But here we go again with lights dimming out and looking like iridium flare satellites. Could it have been? Yeah, it could have been, because the sun just, went down an hour before. So it could have been, but when I got out of the car and looked up, it wasn't moving past any stars. I think I may have had experiences and didn't even realize it. Yeah, and a lot of people that happens to. That's what I kind of wanted to talk about tonight, the abductions and stuff like that. But I know I was talking about Black Knight Satellite, Billy Carson, Third Phase of Moon, and got into this because of Ricardo's experience reminded me of one. And I don't know what compelled me to tell you all that, but it just happened that way. It was very similar kind of sighting, and it just triggered that. I don't know why I never thought about that before. But thank you for the $10, Ricardo. Mucho gusto, generoso. I know there was another one that popped up. So weird. No? This right here? The orb was so close, I'm sure others in the highway saw it, but the crazy part was the orb was flying same direction as we were driving. I thought it was a light on top of a mountain. You saw something. I don't know, man. That's another $10 super chat. Yeah, I'm thinking about the time frame of why I keep thinking it was only a year before I saw my wife, but it was 2 years before I met my wife. Yeah, that's right. We didn't get the dog until April of 2004. And then that's when she and I saw the UFOs together. Here's a weird thing. Before I met this girlfriend, and I was with this other girl, she and I and her mom and dad and a few neighbors saw the same exact freaking light in the sky. And that was like 94, 93. And I remember we kept staring at it, and we were swimming, and they had this spiral staircase that went up to a second level so you can go down the slide into their pool. And when I was on the top, I saw the light. Then my girlfriend saw it, and she said, "Wow, that thing is bright." And it was really bright. It was so bright that the neighbor, you could see them in their backyard swimming, and they saw us looking at it, and they saw it, and going, "What is that, an airplane?" I got out and went down the stairs, and then I was going to go drive to it. And I said, I'm going to go drive to it because it looked like it wasn't that far away. But when I got downstairs, I said, I don't see it. Where'd it go? She goes, it's gone. It turned off or something, which is the same thing that I saw on the road years later, a couple of years later. It makes me wonder if what we're dreaming is actually a reality when it comes to seeing aliens or dreaming of UFOs. Like, people talk about being abducted all the time. It happens all the time, every day. I'm sure somebody feels like they've had an abduction. But we don't see that many reports, and there's a reason for it. It's not something you want to readily tell your friends, family, and the public. And then, if you want to add in a little bit of weirdness on top of it, that Black Knight satellite is 500 miles above Earth. And I don't think we've ever, like mankind, isn't the furthest that we rotate or go around the Earth is at 500? Right? We put things in orbit 250 miles to 350. 500's the limit, I think, from what I remember. That's usually as far up off the atmosphere they like to go. But that's where the Black Knight satellite is. Makes you wonder if that Black Knight satellite actually is an alien ship and abducting people and modifying people and hybrid makers. I mean, I don't know. I know all of you think the same thing. It is a bizarre phenomenon. And when I first saw that this thing could have been a blanket, I was depressed because it does look like it could be a blanket. But on Billy Carson's movie here, what else is NASA going to say? Yeah, it's a satellite. We don't know what it is. It's just satellite. We don't know. Anything in orbit's a satellite doesn't mean it's alien. That's how NASA talks. Thank you, Ricardo Jimenez. Beep, boop, beep. Mucho gusto, generoso. Yeah, I'm going to finish this. I never got it, and then I'll talk more about the abductions. I didn't expect to even go this long. I thought we were going to end the show, but we got a little more to go here.
Fake signal. And so the fact that he was getting a signal, and he recorded this signal in terms of the frequency it was giving off. Now, much later in 1953, two ham radio operators picked up the same exact signal, the same exact frequency, and they started beginning the job of trying to decode it. They came up with the idea that this thing was giving its location, that it's coming from the Epsilon Boötis constellation, where it was in the sky based on the position of the equinoxes about 13,000 years ago. After that, Duncan Lunan, who was a journalist and astronomer, who wrote for Time magazine, actually picked up the signal and then decoded the signal, and he came up with the same thing. Epsilon Bovis, his calculation based on the decoding came up to 11,000 years ago. And Time magazine published the article in 1960. So, I mean, this thing is, it's an amazing story. I mean, it really needs to be looked at a lot deeper, and that's why I did a documentary on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're going down the rabbit hole on this documentary, I know NASA has these photographs that they put out. Did you come across more photographs that have not been seen by the public for your documentary?
Well, there's 4 main photos that pretty much are in the labeled as space junk. They all look slightly different. One is actually the Black Knight, which is the main one that I even use on the cover, the poster cover for the documentary itself. The others appear to be something different. Another one looks to be a solid object as well. Maybe it is one of the different 2 that has been claimed to have been orbiting. Even by the Russians had stated that 2 things were orbiting the planet. And then the other 2 objects appear to be anomalies that could be potentially space junk.
Well, that's actually kind of refreshing to hear that we're at least admitting there's space junk out there, and there's a lot of things that are misidentified as space junk, as UFOs or ET in nature. But you're specifically focused on this one photograph, and I know after watching the documentary, there was really a lot of enhancements that were done to make this detail, this Black Knight satellite, whatever it is. It really shows a craft. Let's actually, we got a sneak peek thanks to Billy. Let's roll a clip from the Black Knight satellite beyond the signal. Watch this, guys.
This was a time of deep suspicions held by the 2 superpowers on either side of the ocean. This is right in the middle of the Cold War. This is 4 years before Sputnik, 4 years before the first launched artificial satellite by humankind. Kehoe's learning from his Navy contacts, high-level people, that the U.S. military was almost in a state of panic. They're like, yeah, we're kind of in a real state of concern here because there's these 2 objects. They were very difficult to track, but apparently the military, U.S. military, was tracking it. And then finally, this story does come out in the mainstream news in early 1954, in March. Now, you just put this in perspective. So there's only one natural satellite of Earth that we know about. It's called the Moon, and it's about 250,000 miles out, about 250,000 miles out. So suddenly, they're talking about 2 objects that are like 500 miles orbiting Earth.
Pretty interesting. I'll put the link to that video in the description right after the show, and a link to Carson's channel, website. Yep, pretty good. Amazing. Yeah, it makes you wonder if oh, Cuppy with the $10 super sticker. That's a let's take a look at this super sticker. I want to check it out. It's rolling. I got to wait for it to catch up. Thank you very much, guys, for the support. I didn't check anywhere else yet. Let me see if there's any surprises. Oh, looks like we got a surprise. Oh, shit. Cuppy with the $10 super sticker. Let's see. It's coming up. Yeah, I haven't been on the channel because look how dark I am. I can't stand this. I have got to do something. There it is. #1 fan pear. It's a pear. Not a pear, but it's the fruit. Pear saying #1 fan. Cuppy, Cuppy, Cuppy. Thank you very much. Mucho gusto generoso. And you are a continuing supporter of GoofOn. So we'll give you one of these. And grazie. Grazie. Mucho gusto generoso. Thank you. Thank you. Hello? Man, that was a long clip. I thought it ended. It wouldn't end. Thanks again. Let's see. Brian Kegler on PayPal. He says, There are 4 fundamental forces at work in the universe. The strong force, atomic nuclear force. The weak force, radioactive decay. The electromagnetic force, light and energy. Light, electricity, and magnetism. And then the gravitational force. They work over different ranges and have different strengths. Gravity is by far the weakest strength, but it has an infinite range. Wow. Okay. That's cool. And that was a super donation of $100. Yeah. That was Brian Kegler with another jaw-dropping $100. Thank you very much, on PayPal even. That is, thank you. Thank you, Brian Kegler, for the $100 PayPal support. You did it again. Echo. You're a multiple or generoso. Couldn't come up with anything. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Cal. Thanks, Mystic15. Thank you all. Mucho gusto, generoso. Seriously. I don't know how you guys feel about abductions. And I don't know all of you here, but I know some of you have had the experience. Do you ever get the feeling it's like when you're in, because I never thought of myself as an abductee, somebody who's been abducted. I just call it dreams. I'm dreaming of aliens and UFOs. And let me tell you something, when I dreamed of this stuff, I wasn't thinking of it. I'm talking 10 years old, 15, 14, 13. Those were the good years. Those were the years when I could fly and the UFOs would come right up to me in the dreams. I'm telling you, they were just dreams. And then recently, in 2006, 7, I had the experience where I woke up because I had pain in my left ear and I was on my side. And then when I opened up my eyes, I saw up on the headboard of the bed, a blue light, and I could hear what sounded like squelching, like, in my ear. It was a constant, it was loud and it hurt. And I noticed that I could see out of the corner of my eye that it looked like the light was coming from where my ear was. Now, all this happens within fractions of a second, like a second or two. But this is how I remembered it. And when I went to lift my head to see where this light was coming from, the light, I followed it go right past me. I saw it. As I was turning my head, I saw the light. And as I'm turning my head, I see this light go into what looks like an alien's hand. And as the point of this thing went, like it got close to it, it lit up the skin and it looked wet, but it also was like translucent. It looked like you could see the veins and everything, but they were also squared out. They were like little tiny squares. It looked like it may have been like on a alligator or it was some sort of outfit. I couldn't tell, but it was weird. And it had the big eyes. I saw somewhat of a big head. And as I see it, I turned to look at my wife and my dog to see if they were awake. And they weren't. So I do this, and I turn around, and it was gone. Then the next time, a couple of days later, I'm laying on the other side. I'm having a pain in this ear, and I open up my eyes. And I was just about to lift my head. It's as if something read my mind. And just before I was about to lift my head, I feel hot air and a whisper say,
"I'll be in your head before you wake up."
What was that? And I just sat there and turned on the lights. My wife woke up, the dog, and I calmed down. She's like, what's the matter, babe? What's going on? I go, you don't want to know. She's like, aliens? I'm like, something. And then I told her what happened. And when I did the voice for her, and I said, this is what it sounded like. I'll be in your head. And I said, oh my God, that's me. That's my voice. The voice I just did for you, I told her, that is exactly what it sounded like. It was me, I told her, telling myself, I'll be in your head before you wake up. Can you imagine what that would do to somebody like me? To this day, I dismiss it as a dream, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if it wasn't? And I went to walk the dog about 15 minutes later, and across the street we had a fairway. Several, they were all over the neighborhood. Just, it's long grass, like a fair, about 200 yards of grass. And there were 3 little grass circles directly in front of my house. I got pictures of them. Yeah, not on here, but I got the pictures. It's pretty wild, man. And they weren't sprinkler heads because they were right next to each other. And you don't put sprinklers, right next to each other like that. They 10 to 15 feet apart. So it's pretty wild stuff. So it makes me wonder what's real and what isn't sometimes. And if I look at the patterns of everything that happened in my life, it led all the way up to where I built the website and saw stuff. So 2004, and then when I opened up the website in late 05, that's what I was supposed to be doing, I think. I don't know. It makes you wonder, like, why? Why now? Why this? Why happened to me? What did I do? But yet my whole life, it's almost as if I was being conditioned, prepped for what I'm doing now. And I don't even see that as a realistic thing. It's silly. Even for me. I think that's silly. It's silly talk. Because I didn't have a yearning passion to talk about UFOs, man. I never had a yearning passion my whole life to record UFOs. Ever. That's why I don't believe that, it's your destiny. That's the way you were supposed to think. No. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like, well, that's it, Rich. They made you think. You made your own decisions. They did it for you. Maybe they were prepping me. Maybe they were training you. For what? They didn't teach me how to talk. They didn't teach me this stupid attitude I gotta have in this field. Which, by the way, when I first started, I was just the nicest guy and everybody loved talking to me. And then one day I did a show where I told the truth and the hate poured in. How could you do this to us? We trusted you. Now you're saying you don't believe us. And I'm like, wow, you got it all wrong. That's completely wrong. But that's the interpretation. That's what people took from me wanting to tell the truth. I just don't feel like I've been abducted. And I know a lot of people have. And I can't imagine how scary that must be to have that in your mind. Sometimes people ask me, you say you have weird things happen at your house every now and then. Do you think that it's possible the aliens are just there with you at all times in another dimension, like sharing the same space, but just vibrating a little differently? We talked about that earlier. The vibrations, right? And I said, I don't know, but I can't do anything about it, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I don't. How do you sleep there knowing that this, what do you want me to do? I got to sleep somewhere. I have no choice. Hold on. Apparently, we have a new member to goof on. Tony McClear became a goof on member. I want to thank Tony. For some reason, it didn't show. I guess you did it early or before the show started. I'm not sure. But I wanted to thank you. Coral told me. So thank you, Tony McClear, who is also a continuing supporter of Goof On. Thank you. So I don't know what to do with you guys when it comes to abductions. I don't know. Do I think it's happening? I know something's happening. I know something is happening. And I would think it would be in your mind. But I think your mind is a reality. Even when you dream. So if anybody just watched or has seen the new Strange, was it Doctor Strange? When you go to sleep, apparently what you're dreaming are other realities. If that's the case, holy shit. I would believe it if they could prove it, because I'm telling you, oh my God, my own experiences, the things I could talk about and I don't. And the things that I've talked about and haven't in 3 years, it's just all coming to me. It's like, I could say some things and then you would be like, no, Rich has lost his mind. And believe me, I feel like sometimes I am, either I'm not truthful with myself or I just can't believe it. Or the reality is, dreams are just dreams. It's just your brain's way of repairing itself. It's shutting down like a computer does when it goes into sleep mode. You know, it gets rid of the old cache files. It gets rid of temporary files. It gets rid of things you don't need to remember. Stuff like that. I don't know. But it's... your brain is amazing. And like I said the other day, there's 10 people, maybe 12 now around the world. Because you'll hear scientists say, and neurologists, I guess brain doctors, you could only remember so many things. Like, I think I heard it to where you could only remember about 100 names and phone numbers. Then after that, the brain will start having a hard time remembering new information. And I'm like, I don't know about that, because these 11, 12 people around the world, they remember every single piece of information they've ever visualized. So how's that possible? If their brain can do it, but mine can't? Would you want to remember everything? I would. Mary Lou Henner talked about it. She was on one of the stars of Taxi. One of the few people in the world that can remember everything. Everything. Can you imagine? So I think it's possible. I think it's possible to tap into it. And the reason why a lot of scientists don't believe in regression therapy, because a lot of the times the person who's doing the regression is giving you a false memory by saying, so these aliens you saw, instead of saying, so these things that you saw, what would you call them? Would you call them aliens? You can't say that. You'd have to say, so what did you see exactly? What were the shapes of these objects or things that you saw? And you can't say, what were these people? You can't say, what were these beings? You don't want to put that information in their head. But how else are you supposed to pull out information if you don't ask for information? So it's a double-edged sword when you're doing this hypnotic regression therapy for abductees. But I believe you can pull out memories here and there. I'm just not sure how accurate it is. But hey, even if half of it's legitimate evidence. That's crazy. Hold on. I'm going to pull this up. Here it is. This is amazing. I always wanted to talk about this. This is good. Total recall is what they call it. Total recall. And this is from Australia's 60 Minutes with Mary Lou Henner. And I just thought it was interesting, so I just talked about it. Now I found a video, and I want to play this real quick.
Imagine being able to remember every minute detail of your life. You can recall what the weather was like, what you were reading, or what you wore to the shops at any minute, any hour, or any day stretching back decades. It sounds like some kind of parlor trick, but it's actually a real and very rare medical phenomenon. So far, scientists have identified 10 cases worldwide. And believe me, what these people can do will quite simply make your head spin. Take a ride with me down memory lane with veteran Hollywood actress Mary Lou Henner.
July 22nd of 1978. Here we go again. My first apartment that I moved into was 100 South Doheny, right down this street.
So driving along, all these different things, just
different little things. Yeah, for sure.
Mary Lou is no stranger to the limelight.
Let's have another warm Miami welcome for Mary Lou Henner.
In the 1970s,
Right. I want to get to where she talks about it. She said she was able to memorize her lines.
For
easily.
remembering everything.
Hey Mom, what day was Valentine's Day in 79?
It was a Wednesday.
And you're right. I've never explained how you do that.
I don't do it. I just see it.
And you can remember your whole life.
Yes, I can remember my whole life. And something...
Did you see her face? I thought that was an interesting... Watch. I remember my whole life, and she rolls her eyes like she doesn't want to.
And something's come up.
Has always been famous for remembering everything.
Hey Mom, what day was Valentine's Day in 79?
It was a Wednesday.
And you're right. I've never explained how you do that.
I don't do it. I just see it.
And you can remember your whole life.
Yes, I can remember my whole life.
See that? Like it's annoying to her.
I can remember
my whole life. She doesn't like it.
My whole life. And some things come up like right away. And then some other things kind of come up a little more slowly, but eventually everything comes up.
Wow, this was, I can't play that music. This was 4 years ago. She looks pretty good.
My first question to you, do you remember what colour dress you wore to the party?
Yes. And I remember Tony's line, how come we can't go to the party too?
How come we can't go to the party too?
You know, it's like things come back. A line to Alex, you're maybe my best friend.
You're maybe my best friend.
And he turns around. You know, it's like the episode will come back to me, and I remember...
Mary Lou is one of just 10 people in the world who've been tested and proved to have superior autobiographical memory.
So that's it. Pretty cool. If you could remember all that. I would love it. You and I, we can remember certain things. We have regression when we smell perfume, when we eat food. We remember certain events or certain people, certain things with certain foods, colognes, and certain pictures and things do flood back certain memories. But I couldn't tell you exactly what outfit. Like, she could remember what she was wearing the day before that eventful day. Like, you and I could remember an eventful day, but what was I wearing the day before that or 2 days before where it was uneventful and non-memorable? You know, she remembers all that stuff. Yeah, that'd be interesting. And I could see it being painful because she does not, I didn't watch this, but I've seen other videos where she talks about even the painful memories are just as real as they were. And sometimes I just remember things and will start crying because, you know, I remembered what it was like to be broken up on or didn't get the part in the movie and so on. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I would like that. I would like to have that kind of memory. I think we all would. But then what happens? What do you mean you forgot it was today? Yeah, I forgot the appointment was today, but you don't forget anything. Yeah, after it happens. That's the rub right there. Whoa. That was interesting. Hold on a second. I didn't even know that happened. Interesting. Okay. I would love it if there was somebody who was abducted that had this type of memory. You know, with only 10 people on the planet having this super automotive, automated memory. She called it, there's something it's called, a technical term. It was pretty interesting. Let's see. Superior autobiographical memory. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. How's everybody doing? Are we all caught up? I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Yep. The unconscious mind knows more than the unconscious mind. Yeah. The unconscious mind knows more than the conscious mind, I would think you would say. But I think I know what you're saying if you mean it that way. Yeah. The unconscious mind does know more than the unconscious mind. That's actually a good comment. If that's how you meant it. All right, well, let's I'll round out the show now with a few of our daily tweets. Let's see. What do we got today? Okay, that was yesterday. The extraterrestrial who contacted 4chan. That's from UFO Mania. I can't play that. That's too bad. Well, UFO Mania likes to strike channels, so can't play it. Now, this comes from Roger Glassell. I don't know if you know who this is, but he's on Twitter. And he says, Pentagon statement on Jay Stratton's involvement in OSAP ATIP. Here's another player. Let me pull it up. Hey, Bernie Muro with a $2 super dono. And I don't know much, but I know I love you. Bernie Muro, a continuing supporter of Goof On. No comment, no sticker, just pure love. Mucho gusto, generoso. Bernie Muro, everybody. Boop. Thank you. Mr. Stratton departed DIA to return to the Office of Naval Intelligence prior to the OSAP contract being awarded. In his roles as first Deputy Director, then later Director, Air Warfare in ONI, he was responsible for identifying and analyzing any and all potential threats to naval aviation, including emerging technologies. In those roles, he remained in contact with DIA while ATIP OSAP existed, occasionally providing expertise and facilitating relationships between DoD, the intelligence community, and industry contracts. However, he had no management role in the OSAP contract. See, that's what I think Lou did. It's little things. Just like Travis Taylor. He didn't run UAPTX, whatever the frigonometry you call it. He didn't run it. He was just called the chief scientist. Didn't say he was leading. I love how people just make up stuff. I just love it. Well, we can make this a little bit more interesting. We could say, oh, Stephen Greenstreet. Oh, I didn't see this. Had something to say about this. According to Stratton's official bio, he was at the DIA's Defense Warning Office, the DWO, According to Lakatsky, he told Axelrod about, Axelrod is somebody on Twitter, about Hunt for the Skinwalker at DWO in April of 07. Stratton Bio says he then was aerospace engineer at ONI. Same for Axelrod. Chief of Air and Space Warfare, Defense Warning Office, Defense Intelligence Agency. Got it. Prior to this appointment, Mr. Stratton served as the Director of Intelligence with the Joint Warfare Analysis Center, Deputy Director Executive Support with Office of the Deputy Chief of Naval Operations for Information Warfare, Director Air Warfare / SPEAR with the Nimitz Operational Intelligence Center, ONI. Wow, an aerospace engineer with ONI, aerospace engineer flight test with Naval Air Systems Command NAVAIR, and senior weapons systems engineer with Mantech International Corporation. He has completed a variety of active and reserve positions as an intelligence officer and foreign area officer with the Air Force Reserve, including Senior Intelligence Officer, the SIO, with the 459th Air Refueling Wing, Chief Space Technology with Defense Technology Security Information Administration, Office of the Secretary of Defense for Policy, the OSD-P, Chief Intelligence Stand... Lakatsky, in 07, sat down with his friend Jonathan Axelrod in the DWO office in Washington, D.C. as he was shipping out on covert assignment to Iraq 2 days later. Oh, wow. Nimitz Operational Intelligence Center. Wow. Wow. Was the acknowledged leader of the trio, a senior aerospace engineer in naval intelligence. I've got one thing to say about all this. Who gives a shh? It doesn't mean anything. I don't care. I don't care. According to Stratton's official bio, he was at the DIA's Defense Warning Office. And according to Lakatsky, he told Axelrod about Hunt for the Skinwalker at DWO in April of 07. That's interesting. I see why they're talking. Just don't give a shit. Really, what does it have to do with anything? It's not going to bring us disclosure. We're not any closer to disclosure. Nobody is going to prove anything from that story. Who cares who was where, when, why? Just show us the evidence, for Christ's sakes. Nobody cares. And now, don't you think this is getting a little bit fun? Seeing that everything that I have been saying, Third Phase has been saying, and a lot of you have been agreeing and also saying that the Tic Tac doesn't exist. Where's the evidence? I have been saying, where's the evidence ever since the story came out? And nobody's saying anything, but now they are. Now they are. Now they are. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. This is great. Great. Now, they're saying it, and I'm not getting any credit for it. That's because China came out and said, our drones. Huh? Yeah. Our drones, they come talk to you, and you can't catch a Tic Tac. I can't. Oh, Tic Tac, paddywhack. Give it dog a bone. That's the name of the UFOs. Give it dog a bone. This is called give a dog a bone. Give a dog a bone? Give a dog a bone. Are you saying give a dog a bone? Hey. Give a dog a bone. Domo arigato. Wait, that doesn't sound like give a dog a bone. It's not. It's domo arigato. Give a dog a bone. Domo arigato. Give a dog a bone. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Brandon Fugel, last one. You know who he loves? Hi. You know who he loves? Ben Hansen. Hey, did you know Ben Hansen was on Third Phase of Moon years ago, before, or I think just after Fact or Faked. He used to be on their channel. He was one of the panelists. That's right. Ben Hanson's Big Apple. There was a restaurant in Arizona called Bill Johnson's Big Apple. So I just say Ben Hanson's Big Apple. That's why it's fun for me. Yeah, that's great. Brandon Fugel, Zig Fugel. He likes anybody who agrees with him. I can't do that fucking voice. I can't do German. I just can't. The only thing I can say is Zig Fugel. That's it. Poor Fugel. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I can't believe he's walking around in Steven Seagal clothing. I think that was the name of it, Seagal, right? Didn't it say it on the inner cuff? Somebody blow that up? It said Seagal. Here is Jason Colavito. Some of you may know. Last thing I'll say tonight. And he's responding to a tweet here by Heidi, who says, why doesn't the media know who these people are? And I'll show you this last thing. And you think they should know who these people are. And then you'll read what Colavito says. Some of you follow him. I know. I see you on there. Why doesn't the media know who these people are? Mainstream. J. Allen Hynek. Stanton Friedman. Whitley Strieber. Grant Cameroon. And others. Dickhead Dolan. Linda Moulton Howdy Doody Fresh and Fruity. Travis Walton. They know who Travis Walton is. And, of course, I can't think of the other names. But why would this guy be there? Really? Seriously? Well, Colavito then says, because collectively, they have identified 0 aliens and produced no evidence of anything extraordinary. Yahoo! Colavito! Got that right, Jack. What has Dolan brought the last 20 years? Zip, zero, zilch. He brought from Grant Cameron. Grant Cameron's the original holder of the Wicked Wilson files. You know, that bullshit story. God, I hate that Admiral Wilson story. Partly because Richard Dolan, because he's such a dickhead. He hasn't brought shit. Stanton didn't bring anything either. Stanton only brought Roswell to light. Huge! But he spent 30 years talking about it, didn't do anything else except have an opinion, and sometimes he was just wrong. But he stuck to his guns, and you can appreciate that. Whitley Strieber is a storyteller who may have had an experience one time, but I don't believe this guy for a minute. You couldn't pay me to say I believe that guy. He is a writer, a storyteller, a story creator. I don't trust him. I don't. Linda Moulton, Howdy Doody, Fresh and Fruity. As much shit as she gets, probably done more than any of those people combined. Linda Moulton Howe should get respect. And she has mine. I just think it's time, to pass the torch. Who would she pass it to? I know she was grooming, sort of, Paula Asteria. Paula should take over. She's got a lot of knowledge. You guys don't think so because she's a model and all that stuff, but that girl's pretty freaking smart. And she's got a great memory. I can't think of anybody else right now that Linda could go to. I mean, there's a ton of people, women, but I don't know. I can't think of any, but anyway. Yeah, Melinda, what is that lady's name? She is the worst. What is her name? Melinda Leslie. Possibly one of the biggest mouths I've ever heard. With zero proof. I mean, this woman has made some claims behind the scenes that, Like she said, Lou Elizondo is dropping this huge bombshell. It's going to change everything. She knows because she talks to his people. Nothing happened. And that's usually the way it goes. It is ufology. Believe what you want to believe. Do your own research and go from there. But I hope you had a good time. We tried reaching on a few different topics tonight, so I want to thank y'all for coming in a little later. We will be back tomorrow morning with the Wise Guy Show. And then tomorrow night and every night at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. Good things are happening always, and I appreciate the support. And you can continue helping us. You can support the show with all the links in the description and on the homepage of GoofOn and the Wise Guy Show. I'm Rich Giordano. Thank you, moderators and super chatters. Coral, thank you. Tremendous job tonight, as always. Thank you guys for the huge support. I mean, again, thank you. We're just about, I don't even know. But anyway, thank you very much, newcomers and veterans. Thank you for your support as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I want to see that number go up. And it has been. Thank you very much. And hey, if you guys want, show a little love on the other show. I think it's still under GoofOn Lives if you type it in. But it hasn't gotten registered under the Wise Guy Show yet, I don't think. But anyway, it's there. The link's here. You can go there. And we'll be back, like I said, tomorrow night. We are, what are we? Truthology for ufology. That's right. You got it right. Yeah, good job. It's pretty good. Have a great week. Don't work too hard. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., back at GoofOn. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., The Wise Guy Show. I'm Rich Giordano for Sunday night. Giddy up.